Hello everyone, this is our special interview with Ogaden National Liberation Front leadership. A month ago, ONLF changed its leadership. Formerly, Mr. Almiral Muhammad was ONLF chairman, and now my guest, Mr. Abdurrahman Mahdi, is a new chairman. Mr. Mahdi, welcome.
Thank you. I welcome you.
Okay, ONLF recently changed its leadership. What is the need of changing leadership by now?
And it's part of the ONLF constitution. Every 4 years we hold a congress, because for a long time we have been struggling. For the last 23 years we were fighting the former regime, and we had around, during that time, 23 years, we were supposed to have every 4 years a congress. We had only two chances to hold congress. So one was held in 1998, and the next one was held actually in 2018 in Daga Amhara, Asmara. But when there's a change of government in Ethiopia, and Comrade Abiy Ahmed, and open up the political space, there was an agreement between ONLF and the Ethiopian government, and we came back peacefully here to exercise our political rights through peaceful means. And because of that change, there was from a liberation front which was fighting to a front which is now pursuing the political rights of its people through peaceful means. We needed to have a new congress, and so we held a congress in Godey on starting 2nd of November 2019 until 12th November 2000. So the Congress was to reevaluate the current strategy, the peace agreement, and also to energize the organization and to re-elect the leadership. The former chairman, who has served the organization for the last 23 years in a very 20 years, who has been dedicated, he voluntarily decided that he will leave the post for the organization to select a new chairman. So that was one of the reasons why this Congress was held, and so it was peacefully held, transparently, and through secret ballot. A new chairman was elected, a new central committee was elected, and the political program of the organization was revised. The peace agreement was also ratified. And so now ONLF is now preparing for the new type of political struggle through peaceful means. So the reason why we had our Congress was to reevaluate and re-energize the organization and move forward from armed struggle to a peaceful struggle.
We are heading to national election 2020, and what is the significance of this new leadership in this election and your role as a party leader?
Yeah, first of all, the new election has broad significance for all peoples in Ethiopia, and for all even the people in all of Africa, because if a democratic, peaceful Ethiopia will enhance the well-being and the security of all the neighboring countries also, and the nations in Ethiopia, which has struggled for almost 100 years, and always has been suffering from every revolution ended up in a new autocratic regime coming back. So this election and this change has got a very big significance for all people in Ethiopia, particularly the people in the southern parts who have been always the oppressed, the Somalis, the Oromos, the Afars, the other Sidamas, and many other people in Ethiopia. So as a people, as Somali people, as ONLF, we believe we are the new change that has happened within ONLF will invigorate the organization so that they can prepare for the new election, so that they can play a very positive, constructive role and be in a position to actually do something for the people which they have struggled for the last 35 years.
What is your plan for the next Ethiopian election as ONLF?
Well, for us, it is it's very challenging because time is very short. organization has just returned within now 1.5. We came here December last year. So for us, it's very challenging. We have to build again our basis within the country. We have to register our members. We have to create all these, election is not very easy. We are also competing with an incumbent party that has ruled our region for the last 23 years. So for us, it's very challenging. So our plan is, first of all, to educate the people about their rights, about the constitution, about what rights they have got, to encourage them to register, to take an active part in the politics of the region and in the whole country. So ONLF is not only a regional party, it's now a national party. We want even to compete in Oromia, in Afar, in Addis Ababa, in Dirraba, in Harar, all our neighbors. Maybe in the future we can go to Amhara region and other parts. But currently we are confined to our southern colleagues. So for us the plan is to get as much supporters and constituencies so that we may have a significant members in both the regional parliament and the national parliament, so that we can take part in the politics of the country as a whole, and in particular in the Somali state. So that's our plan. We are planning to participate very actively and to win the election. So that's our plan.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdurrahman. How much it is meaningful, this election, for the next Ethiopia?
Well, I believe, first of all, the honors is with the Prime Minister, who we have great respect for. He has done a lot. We have the paradigm change of the whole concept in Ethiopia. He brought peace. He promised democracy. He promised that the people will have their rights. So first of all, his actions and deeds will have a very deep impact, maybe for the next century actually. So we hope he keeps to his promise, and we will support him to deliver his promises. And I think all people in Ethiopia will support that. And for the people in Ethiopia, we have gone through a lot of bloodshed, killings, sufferings, bad governance, and oppression. So we believe this is very significant. It will set the tone for the next, for example, every 2 decades in Ethiopia, there's transformation, bloodshed. It ends in bloodshed, and then new transformation comes. Unfortunately, all revolutions die in infancy, and then dictatorship takes over. So it is a litmus paper for the new democracy in this area. So if the government delivers as it's promised, if all parties act positively and a positive, meaningful competition happens, we have to care for the rights of the people. These are our people, especially the elite, the leaderships of all parties, the leadership in the government. There's a big responsibility on us to make sure we conduct this election in a very peaceful, democratic, constructive way, so that we have to feel kind to our people, because whenever the squabbling happens, when there is a failure in leadership at the government level, at the political level, the people, usually leaders run away and hide, and the people, the mother and the children and the people and the elderly suffer in this country. So we have got a very big responsibility on our shoulders. I don't blame anybody. It's not only on the government, it's on the political parties, it's on the civic societies, it's on the educated people. The normal people, they're always misled by the educated people, by the politician, by the demagogue. So we need to be actually very constructive to think about the future of our people in general, whether as nations or as a collective of communities in this country. And we have to really to manage this election in a very, very positive, meaningful way, so that we reach a place where, we can represent our people. And the only way we can represent our people is to give them the right to decide who will lead them. And those who come from there, who have got the full mandate, can decide the future of the people in Ethiopia. So that's our vision as ONLF, and that's what we all urge all parties, all nations, all regional administrations, the federal government, the political parties, the civil societies, the elite of the country. It's a big responsibility, and we hope every part take their part. For us as ONLF, we have been very, very positive, very constructive. We have been calling for peace, reconciliation, brotherliness, And we believe that we need to educate our people. Because what happens usually in Africa is the common people, they don't know their rights. We don't want our people to vote on the basis of money. We don't want people to vote on the basis of clanism. We want them to vote on the basis of principles. For example, every party shall have a platform that they present to the people. So we need the people who can choose what's good for the common good. Not because someone is just from their relative, or someone has got more money, or someone has got more guns and buttons they are afraid of. So that's the future we want to build.
Thank you. Would you shed light on the main programs of ONLF?
Well, for us, there are key issues for us. For our people, we have sacrificed a lot, not only in Somalia, either all the people in Ethiopia, we have sacrificed our blood, our loved ones, to get our civil rights, political rights, democratic rights, right to rule ourselves, right of self-determination. So for us, it's a key that every nation should rule themselves, should have the right of self-determination to decide their future. And that can be expressed in their self-government. Today we have got self-government in Oromia, who are catering to the needs of the people. We have got self-government in Somali, in Afar, in Amhara, in Tigray, in Sidama recently, in Southern Coalitions, in Benishangul, in Gambela, in many others, in Addis Ababa, in Dirraba, even Harar. So we believe we have shed a lot of blood to reach there. We urge, that's our position. We don't want to go back again to start another wars, other operations. So the sanctity of those sacrifices must be safeguarded. That's one program for ONLF. For us, self-determination is very important. And when we are saying self-determination, doesn't mean we are running away. We mean every nation should safeguard their self-rule. And then we can come together and share the bigger. We can share the bigger picture, but first of all, I have a right to rule my own home, my village, little village. From Ambo to Qabridahar to Bahradar, every little state should have their own, manage their lives. That's one thing. The other thing is, we need to have a good governance. ONLF program is to have a good governance that delivers to the people. People should get water. Our people die for drought every day. Drought, diseases. And we live in a world in the 21st century. Many parts of the world, no one will die because of lack of water, or lack of health, or lack of food. So we need to deliver. We need to have a good governance that will deliver public service to its people. Non-corrupt, very clean, and very efficient. That's part of the platform. The other one, we need the civil rights of people to be respected. We don't want any violation of our people. We need to have a free, democratic people who enjoy the rights of all people as other people in the world. So we will respect the human rights of our people. The government we build in the Somali region and in the bigger Ethiopia, we will strive to have the people in Ethiopia should be free from oppression, from illegal imprisonment, from rape, from killings, from intimidation. The government should be government for the people, not and by the people. The government should be servant to the people. Now in Ethiopia, for the last 100 years, the people are servants to the government. They are slaves to the government. It will be the other way around, what we will fight for. We say the people own the government. No, the government doesn't own the people. So that's another program. So good governance is very important. The other one is peace and stability. We will have very, very robust program for peace and stability in the Somali region and the whole of Ethiopia, and even the whole Horn of Africa. We will advocate brotherliness, peace, stability, integration, common trade, and brotherliness. So that's another program for ONLF. And finally, we will strive to have an impact in the politics in Ethiopia. We will not be a regional, parochial. We want to have a say in what's happening in Amhara, in Oromia, in Benishangul, in Afar, in Tigray, which means we cannot have our rights in Somalia if the others have no right. So we will also fight for the rights of all people in Ethiopia, whether in Oromia or any region. Because if my brother in Amhara is being oppressed, I cannot live in peace in Somali region or Ogaden. If our Oromo brother is being oppressed, I'm oppressed also. So that we have a very robust program. We are against all oppression, not only even in Ethiopia, everywhere in the Horn of Africa, and even the world. So we are pro against all oppression. So that's the platform of ONLF, some of our programs. So the other one is we want our people to be prosperous. For example, if we say the whole of Ethiopia is at the bottom of the ladder in the whole of the world. Ethiopia comes to about 170. So we have to work very hard to make these people rich. We have got the biggest land in Africa. We have got the biggest amount of water, the livestock, fossil fuel resources. But because of bad governance and fightings and all these animosities, that has made these people all over this country poor. So we will strive to make the people economically self-sufficient, free, and live freedom not only from oppression, freedom from hunger, freedom from disease, and freedom from political oppression. So that's our part of our programs. And finally, we want to have integrated Horn of Africa, but that integration should be on equal basis. Integration within Ethiopia, we want the economies of all Ethiopian nations to be integrated, but it should not be on oppression one part to the other. It should be on equal basis. The same, we will need to have integration in the Horn of Africa, in Somalia, Kenya, Djibouti, Eritrea, Sudan, South Sudan. Those are our neighbors. Uganda even as far as other parts of Africa. So ONLF will be Pan-Africanist. We will strive to have integration. We want to have a very strong Africa that's not a burden to the world. We are always begging. If you see Africa, we are going to relieve debt from you. We always beg the world. Africa should not beg the world. Actually, we will be, for the next century, we should be actually supplying China and America and Europe. We will be actually giving aid to that. If we are intelligent enough, we have been a burden to the world, and that's shame to Africans. So we need to work in a way that will be a positive contribution to the world, to peace, to prosperity, and then together maybe we'll explore the universe. So that's our position of us.
Thank you, Mr. Abdurrahman. I am left with only one question. How do you join the coming election as Ogaden National Liberation Front with coalition or as a party? And finally, what is ONLF position in people-to-people relation?
First of all, ONLF cannot be in isolation. To become a national force, we need to have a coalition with parties with similar views. So that will be explored, and then we will look into that. We are still developing our policies, and I will look at our relationships. So that is still pending, and the new leadership of ONLF will thrash that out. As for the people-to-people relationship, first of all, we believe all people in the Horn of Africa are brotherly. If we look at the bigger Horn of Africa, but we have got special relationships. For example, in Ethiopia, we have got some common interests. So we advocate for brotherliness between all people in Ethiopia, regardless of where they are. But if you go even further, we have got a special relationship with people who have got common ancestry. We have got common ancestry with the Oromo people, with the Afar people, with the Sirama people, with many other people in this country. But for us, what is very important is the Oromo people and the Afar people. The Somali people and Afar people, our Oromo people, they go as far as even cross borders, from near Lamu up to Addis Ababa, near Addis Ababa, Maiso and Nazareth. We have got such a big border. We are intermarried. We are all related family-wise. We have got common ancestry from the past. We have got common culture. We have got common interests. We have got common economies. So we will build strong relationship with our Oromo brothers, with our Afar brothers, because they are the first encounter we have within Ethiopia. Because there has been, politically instigated confrontation on the borders. ONLF position is that has to end. The communities along the borders will create for them joint programs so that they can prosper, to make them rich, brotherly, joint ventures. So the people in, for example, around Moyale, instead of fighting over scarce resources, will create a common resource for them so that they can profit together. The same along all the border, up to, let's say, Maizo and here. For the same we will do also on the Afar border. So instead of confrontation and fighting over land and these borders, usual borders, we will create a common, we will intermarry their cultures, their economies, and so that's our position. As ONLF, we will not advocate any more killings. What we say is we will profit more, we will gain more by synergy and coming together and exchanging, economies, brotherliness. Because if you look at If you go there and say who is Oromo, who is Somali, you cannot differentiate. This is just in our minds. We are living together as brothers, and that's our message. We say to the Somali people, to the Oromo people, to the Afar people, the time for war has ended. We live in the 21st century. We are civic societies. We have to live in peace. We have to address any conflict through peaceful means. We have got the mechanism. We have got the gather. We have got our elders, Somali elders, Dogaiti, they call Dogaiti. The same, we have got the Afar elders. We have to come to people talk. We say government sit back, politicians sit back. Let our people come one-to-one as intellectuals, as elders, as youth, as the people of religion. Let us come together and talk and see what common future we can build together. Because whether we like it or not, Somalis and Oromos and Afars will always live together. There's no way out. So it's high time now we start it in a positive way instead of going negative ways. And I can tell you, we are all interrelated. If I go to Oromia, I will get many of families from Somali origin. And if you go to Somalia, you'll see many people from a Somali origin. Our language are common basis. I can understand 60% of Oromo when I listen to it carefully. And many Oromos also will understand the Somali language. So what I say, for us, our message is a message of peace, message of brotherliness, message of common interest, economic integration, and moving forward and preparing for the future. That's our position.
Dear new chairman of ONLF, Mr. Abdurrahman Ahadi, that is all what we have, and thank you for staying with OMN. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You are doing a positive work. ONLF is playing a positive role in actually shaping the future of this country. Thank you very much.
That was all about my stay with ONLF leadership. Thank you for watching.